Superheroes are awesome, but there's a saying that a hero is only as good as its villain. Here is my personal list of the 10 greatest comic book villains of all time. Of course, it's completely correct and can't be disputed in any way, shape or form. Before the list starts, I want to say that it's only based on DC and Marvel comics, because there's a lot of different comics outside those two that has awesome villains. Villains like the Shredder, Frieza, and of course the Beagle Boys from Donald Duck universe. Coming in at number 10, we have Sinestro, the arch nemesis of Green Lantern Hal Jordan. And he made his first appearance in 1961 in Green Lantern Volume 2, Issue 7. To make a long story short, he's a former Green Lantern Corps member who was sort of thrown out of the league. Thrown out because he was just, abusing his powers. So he got banished into the antimatter universe, which is a bit harsh, I believe. Like, couldn't someone just talk with him, send him to therapy or something? Anyway, he escapes this prison and creates the Sinestro Corps that use fear to power the rings. I think in one of the comics, Scarecrow was part of this, corpse. He's a guy that loves fear, so this was, perfect for him. Anyway, some of the horrible things that Sinestro's done, kidnapping 100,000 people to blackmail Hal Jordan, attacking Coast City, and killing billions of people when trying to become immensely strong. Coming in at number 9, we have Galactus. He was a scientist that lived before the Big Bang, foreseeing the danger that was heading their way. He tried to save his planet by flying into the terminal point of the universe, but he just ended up becoming Galactus by morphing with some cosmic entity. The reason why Galactus is on this list is mainly because of his role in the universe. Someone whose purpose is to bring balance in the universe by sort of consuming planets. Sounds a bit mean, but according to him, he's just higher up in the food chain. He made his first appearance in the Fantastic Four issue 48, and he's one of their main antagonists, which is a bit weird because he's so super strong, going up against the Fantastic Four, which are also strong, but not on that level. Coming in at number 8, we have a weird one, because I have two people right here. First, I have Venom. He made his first appearance in The Amazing Spider-Man issue 300. When Peter got rid of the symbiote, he sort of found Brock, both having a hatred for Peter, resulting in him becoming the ultimate killing machine that's constantly hunting Spider-Man. Venom's tortured Spider-Man multiple times, like when he kidnapped him to a deserted island and just hunted him around there, or when he completely webbed him up and wanted to kill him with a bell, I believe. But the reason as to why I wouldn't really call him a villain is because he isn't this super evil guy that wants to rule the world. At least in the comics that I've read, he's someone that only hates Peter. He's actually saved innocent people multiple times. He even agreed to partner up with Spider-Man to stop Carnage from killing people. So for that reason, I can't really call him a complete villain. I would call him more of an anti-villain. But hey, if you think he's a villain, then we have him on this spot. Sharing the stage with him, we have the Red Skull. Red Skull made his first appearance in Captain America 1. So the guy's literally been around since World War II. Johann Schmidt is the name of this villain, and he's highly intellectual Nazi that planned and led several missions during that time. Sort of fighting against America and the free world. Fighting against democracy. This carries over as the comics and times have changed, where Red Skull is still trying to undermine America. You could say that this isn't your typical villain, in the sense that he's always involved in some political war. Some awesome Red Skull storylines are He Who Holds the Cosmic Cube and Captain America issue 300, where you see them fight to the death. Coming in at number 7, we have Magneto, making his first appearance in X-Men issue 1 in 1963. Of course, this man's a mutant that has the power to control magnetic fields. In other words, he can just, throw around metal and just throw it at Wolverine. Throw it on Wolverine's back. He just wants to protect mutants from being hunted down by humans. Protect them by killing, all the humans. Nice, man. Anyway, this sort of makes the character understandable in a way. He's not motivated to gain power or money. He just wants to protect his brothers and sisters. And him being born in Europe during World War II resulted in him being a Jewish Holocaust survivor, fueling him even more to protect mutants from getting eliminated. Coming in at number 6, we have Dr. Doom, the arch nemesis of the Fantastic Four, making his first appearance in Fantastic Four issue 5 back in 1963. He was born in Romania in extreme poverty poverty and ended up losing his witch mom to some, demon. Due to his immense intelligence, he got a chance to study in the United States. There he built a machine that allowed him to communicate with the dead. But the machine just exploded and destroyed his face. He was expelled from the university and ended up traveling the world and just, gathering knowledge and power. Building his iconic iron suit and wearing his green cloak. Some of these powers that he acquired was mainly connected with magic, making him just immensely strong and powerful. But not only does he have magical abilities, he's also one of the smartest characters in the Marvel universe. My favorite feat from him is when he was able to steal the Beyonder's power in the Secret Wars storyline, making him completely unbeatable. Coming in at number 5, we have Darkseid. He made his first appearance in Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen 134 in 1970. Weird comic to make your first appearance. I mean, why don't you just appear in Justice League comic? Anyway, he's a god from the world apocalypse, basically, which is just hell in the universe. Basically, a dark place where characters like Darkseid and Granny Goodness originate from. Anyway, Darkseid's purpose is to totally dominate the universe. Dominate and rule the universe by finding the anti-life equation. It's a mathematical formula that allows the user to control the will of any living organism. Coming in at number 4, we have the Mad Titan himself, Thanos. I think he's slowly but surely become the most popular comic book villain of all time, mainly because of the MCU movies that we've gotten over the years. Making his first appearance in the Avengers movie from 2012. No, I'm just kidding. He made his first appearance in the Invincible Iron Man issue 55 back in 1973. Thanos is sort of similar to Darkseid in the sense that his goal is to completely rule and dominate the universe using a cosmic object. The cosmic object being the Infinity Stones. Having all the 6 stones basically makes you invisible or invincible. I don't know English. Some of the best Thanos storylines are those related to the Infinity Stones. Mainly the whole Infinity War saga that's like, 20 issues long. Coming in at number 3, we have Lex Luthor, making his first appearance in Action Comics issue 23 back in 1940, dude. So the guy's literally been around for 83 years. What an asshole. Anyway, what's so special about Lex Luthor is his intelligence, not his physical abilities, because he's just a normal human. But what separates him from the rest is that he's regarded as the smartest man on Earth and one of the smartest people in the DC universe. And of course, his main goal is to rule the Earth, while simultaneously seeing Superman as a major threat to humanity and himself. So you constantly have this face-off between these two, where Lex is using some sort of technology to fight Superman, mainly by using some kryptonite weapon, or hiring and creating some monster that can match Superman's strength. I was doing sort of citation marks with my fingers when I said match, because Superman's stupidly overpowered. Coming in at number 2, we have the Green Goblin, making his first appearance in the Amazing Spider-Man issue 14 back in 1964, having had many different identities over the years. The most famous one and recognized one is Norman Osborn, one of his closest friends' father, a brilliant scientist that was working on a form of superhuman serum, but the experiment sort of failed and ended up, infecting him, just blasting in his face, giving him immense strength. But he also gave him 2 personalities, making him insane. Of course, Spider-Man's always there to stop him. That's the reason why goblins became so obsessed with killing Peter. He found out his identity by sort of blocking out his spider sense. Then he just stalked him around and saw him change clothes back to Peter Parker. Is that even an English sentence? I don't know. Anyway, then he just dragged Peter across New York without his mask. Other noteworthy things that a goblin has done is, kill Gwen Stacy. It sort of transformed the Spider-Man comics into something more dark. Gwen Stacy died because he was Spider-Man. All of that resulted in him just chasing down the Goblin to some warehouse where he was just impaled by his own glider. Coming in at number 1, to no one's surprise, we have the Joker, appearing in Batman issue 1 back in 1940. And what's so interesting about the Joker is that his origin and identity is sort of unknown. Not even him knows his own identity. He even said that one day it's one story, but another day it's a different story, depending on what his mood is. Like, what? But despite that, there is one consensus origin where he fell into a tank of chemicals that sort of, bleached his skin. He was doing some criminal things to earn money to support his pregnant wife. Instead, it ended up just, losing his wife and his unborn child and also his appearance. Even saying that all it takes is one really bad day to sort of push you over the edge. His most brutal storyline is probably The Killing Joke, where he sort of crippled Barbara Gordon and kidnapped the commissioner. Then just shows pictures of a naked naked and crippled Barbara to him. In the end of that comic, you have just Batman straight up strangling him to death. Fitting ending for this asshole. Anyway, that's my super objective list that has no flaws in it whatsoever. It is undeniable that it's the best list of all time.